I just got out of a meeting with a business partner on a new deal that we're working on, and the topic of CapEx came up. So I figured I'd share with you guys. Capital expenses. This is money spent to improve or maintain a property. A common mistake that many real estate investors and syndicators do when they're renovating a property is to overspend on CapEx. So specifically, they spend their cash on upgrades and improvements that they look nice on the property, but they won't pull in the rents because the overall location is not the right one, not the right location, or the tenant base just don't feel it has that much value to them to justify a higher rent. So I see many investors get caught up with installing granite countertops and stainless steel appliances and this awesome, beautiful flooring and many other custom features. You may need to do this for a Class A building or a class, but in a Class B property, is that going to pull in the same amount of dollars, right? That's the question. So what you're looking for is to get a decent ROI. Do you really think that you can get the higher rents by putting those finishes in a B or a B minus property? That's the question. So some things to consider are additionally is the increased vacancy loss you're going to get while you're turning all these units as well. You're going to have overhead costs associated with management and planning, inspections, and other things that are going to impact the overall cost. Not to mention too, disruption in renovations elsewhere on the property that will impact your tenant base as well. So these are just some of the things to consider when you're doing a mass renovation, or you're considering that for your first shot anyway. The thing is that there are many other things you can do. You may want to consider like some low cost upgrades that may have some more bang for their buck, and many people notice them right away. For instance, like if you look at an entryway, for instance, if you put down a small ceramic tile area right at the door, it makes a good first impression, and it gives a tenant a way to say remove their shoes before walking on the carpet, your carpet that you just installed, right? I also know that you guys uh, heard that bathrooms and kitchens, those are really moves units, right? So in some cases, maybe consider doing some low cost options, like in a kitchen, put in a backsplash. That often gets noticed before the flooring does. And it's really easy to do because they have the short wall spaces, and get some big impact with low cost, right? You can also do very cheap and easy things like putting up wall plates, replacing those, or installing new faucets and cabinet handles is much less expensive than putting up new appliances, and it really spruces up the look of the bath and the kitchen. You can even put in one of those curved shower bars like you see at the nicer hotels. It makes for a very improved comfort for that tenant. So, and again, very low cost. I guess what I'm saying is test and measure your upgrades depending on the asset class and the location. So generally, as far as a guideline is concerned, whenever you're modeling your CapEx budget, you have to really understand the financial impact of your improvements, right? Uh, don't improve a property knowing the financial benefit that your CapEx is going to generate for you. The standard for larger multifamily should be that anything you put into it should pay for itself within 5 years or less, right? Generally, that's the rule of thumb. This means that every time you underwrite a property that needs some renovation or repair, you need to determine the financial benefit that you'll get as a result of the CapEx that you plan on spending. So when you figure it out, make certain that the document you prepare for your partners and your bank, because they will ask you for it. So better yet, you can even include it in your due diligence when you send in your pro forma plan when you control the property, when you assume control of the property. So that's going to be a nice big benefit for you, so you look like you're prepared. So anyway, that's all I got, guys, when it comes to CapEx. You have any comments? We'd love to hear what you guys are doing when you're turning units. Leave them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Hope you have a great night, and talk to you again later. Ciao.